Hello YouTube. By now I would think most of you, if not all of you, are familiar with the concept of a video game. Video game being, visual imagery on a screen controlled by some kind of input device, be it a game controller or a keyboard or a mouse or what have you. What if I told you that this device in front of me here is an audio game console? What comes to your mind? This is the Audio Adventures game console. It's produced in England by a company called Truman Toys and Games. The idea behind this product is that anyone can play, anyone of any ability, and any skill level. The games for this console are mostly choose your own adventure, branching adventure type games. So you start the game and you're told where you are and what you can do, and you can make selections as to what you want to do next. And the actions you take will have an immediate effect and an eventual delayed effect. So the games are episodic. You'll start with one episode and then move on to the next one. They're basically a combination of choose your own adventure mixed with audio drama, mixed with text adventure games. For those of you who remember the text adventure games on early home computers like the Commodore 64 and Sinclair ZX Spectrum and others. The developer of this console, an Englishman named Lee McGeorge, grew up playing these games and enjoying them. He also enjoyed reading the Choose Your Own Adventure books. And he created this console a couple of years ago based on those philosophies. Now, as I say, the console is designed for anyone to use. It was designed with input from blind people. And I'll come on to that in a moment. But all the games are auditory. There are no visuals. There's no screen, as you can see. Before I turn the unit on, I'm going to describe it. At the top of the unit is a display window where you can see the currently loaded cartridge. And you can see the cartridge that I have in there is the Psychotronic Mind. This is one of the launch titles for the system. Below that is the nameplate, which just tells you what it is. Then there are 4 multicolored LED lights and then 4 buttons, A, B, C, and D, as you can see. Below that is the loudspeaker. On the left-hand edge of the unit is the headphone output and the USB port to recharge the battery. The headphone output produces true stereophonic sound, and the sound quality from this console is very good. It really is incredible. On the right-hand edge of the unit is the cartridge slot and the power switch. You slide the switch up to turn the unit on and down to turn the unit off. This is what one of the cartridges looks like. This is the Hotel of Secrets, which is probably my favourite game out of the games I have for this console. Now, if you look at the right-hand edge of the cartridge, you'll see that it has embossed braille on it. So this allows a blind person to tactily identify which game they want to play and which game is loaded into the console, because as you see from the side of the console, the side of the cartridge can be felt through the right-hand end there, above the power switch. The easiest way that I found to get the cartridge out is to place my thumb against the cartridge and slide it to the right. And then it just slides out, and you'll see that on the back there is the edge connector. I don't recommend leaving these cartridges lying loose, because you don't want that edge connector to pick up any dirt or debris. So I keep them in this red food storage container. I'll just put the Psychotronic Mind back in the console. Truman Toys and Games are a very small operation. It's just 2 people. I understand it's just two people, Lee McGeorge and his wife, and they're based in London. My understanding is the printed circuit boards for this console are made in China, but the consoles are actually hand assembled in England by Lee. So it's really quite impressive. I think the case for this unit is 3D printed, as are the cartridges. Without any further ado, I'm going to turn the console on and you'll see what this game is like. So I'm going to push the power switch up.
The Psychotronic Mind, a branching adventure from Truman Toys and Games. Press any button to begin the adventure.
Before we start, I'd like to point out a couple of quick commands you can perform. If you press and hold the A button, you will pause the game, and then pressing the A button again resumes play. Pressing and holding the B button turns the volume down, pressing and holding the C button turns the volume up, and pressing and holding the D button for 10 seconds factory resets the console, deleting all your user data. I'm going to turn the volume up a bit. I think that's loud enough. I'm going to press one of the buttons and we'll start the game.
Select your episode. Press A for episode 1, B for episode 2, C for episode 3, or D to enter a password. Select your episode.
I'm going to press the A button to start episode 1.
B for episode 2.
The Psychotronic Mind, episode 1. So, this is it. Dull-looking building in the middle of the countryside. Minister Redbridge said there were problems with security. I can see one guard, but he looks like he's falling asleep on his feet. I could go and talk to him, or, as I'm here to review security, I could try and sneak past him and test his readiness. Press A to talk to the guard, or D to try and sneak past.
I'm going to press the A button.
Press A to talk to... Halt! Who goes there? Hello, my name is Captain George Trainer. I'm here to meet Professor Heinrichsen. Am I in the right place? Professor Heinrichsen, yes, sir. But in order to pass, you must answer a password challenge. On your device are buttons marked A, B, C, and D. You can use these buttons to make a decision when asked. And my first question to you is very simple. Are you prepared to accept the password challenge? Press A if you are prepared to answer a password challenge, or D to refuse. Yes, I'm prepared to accept your challenge. Challenge is Castle Blue. My response is bottle green. That's perfect, sir. I'm glad to see you take security seriously. Come on, let's get you to the professor. An elevator. Is the laboratory underground? It is, sir. This used to be a coal mine. I'll telephone ahead and have the professor meet you at the bottom. Underground, eh? Top secret laboratory hidden in a coal mine. I wonder what they'll think of next.
Schneider, I have been watching the facility. A man has just arrived and gone inside.
Pass me the binoculars. Yes, I see his car. Was there anybody else with him?
No, he was alone.
Then there is nothing to worry about. We can easily take the laboratory. Men, check your weapons. Make sure you have everything you need. In a few minutes we shall attack. Remember, it's the professor we want. But as for the rest, leave no survivors. Captain Trainer. Yes. Hello, Captain. I'm Professor Professor Ernst Henriksen. Ah, you're the professor. I've been sent to help review your security by the minister. Yes, Captain. We were pleased to have your expertise. The work we do here is sensitive, and the Nazis are working on a similar project. Forgive me for asking, Professor, but I was told you were German. I escaped. The Nazis would have put me in a camp and exterminated me had I not a scientific mind. What is the science? It's all been so cloak and dagger. I still don't understand what this is about. It is about the psychotronic mind. We are giving soldiers psychic powers. I could tell you about the psychotronic power if you wish, or I could tell you about how the Nazis developed the technology, or we could just skip ahead to the heart of why you are here. Press A to learn about the psychotronic powers, press B to learn about the Nazi technology, or press D to get on with things. Press A to learn about the psychotronic powers, press B to learn about the Nazi. We are giving soldiers telekinesis and pyrokinesis. That is the power to move things with your mind, or the power to set fire to things with your mind. That's extraordinary. I see now why the minister wants to ensure the security is up to spec. Precisely. We have had 2 attempts to infiltrate our facilities. It would appear the Nazis know what we are up to. But there is more, Captain. The reason the minister sent you is for you to undergo the procedure for psychotronic power yourself. You have been selected as a test subject. What? I'm to become a test subject? Don't worry, it's perfectly safe. But first, I would like you to meet my assistant, Dr. Beaumont, to give you a demonstration. Dr. Beaumont? Dr. Beaumont?
Yes, Professor?
Lisa, could you come here for a moment? I'd like to introduce you to Captain George Trainer. How do you do, Doctor?
Hello. Pleased to meet you, and please call me Lisa.
Doctor, can I leave him with you for a demonstration of your pyrokinesis?
Yes, of course.
Captain, I leave you with Lisa, and we'll talk again soon.
That's nice. I think it is as quiet as we can hope for. If we are to launch an assault, now is a good time.
Yes, I agree. Men, still your nerves and prepare your weapons. We must move fast, hit them hard, and escape as swiftly as we arrive. Let's move out. The professor told me you have psychic powers too.
Yes, I can set fires, but my powers are quite weak. Just a moment, I want to find a candle to show you how it works.
This Lisa Beaumont is a very attractive woman. How should I speak with her? Shall I speak about the science? Should I flirt with her? Maybe a mixture of both. Come on, George, make a decision. Press A to talk science, B to flirt, or C for a balanced conversation.
I'm still looking for that.
We interrupt our scheduled program.
Now you'll see that you have to make some moral choices. And that's the case with the other games too. You have to make moral choices, and the choices you make may make a difference to the game. Some choices you make will result in immediate failure. For example, your character may get killed. Other choices you might think might lead to failure, but they don't, but they'll lead to an alternative ending for the current episode or the game itself.
We now return to the psychotronic mind.
Candle?
Take your time.
Where is it?
What a delightful lady.
I'm going to press the C button.
Come on, George. Make a decision. Press A to talk science, B to flirt, or C for a balanced conversation.
We'll go for the
Still
balanced
looking for that
conversation.
candle. Do you see this candle, Captain? Watch what happens when I bring my fingertip to the wick.
My God, you lit that candle by touching it.
I did. My psychotronic power is limited to pyrokinesis, and it's very weak.
Even so, it must be incredibly useful.
I'll never need to buy matches again.
That's quite amusing.
But to be honest, I keep it hidden. I want to keep the security around this tight.
Yes, that's good. I'm glad you think that way. You stay with the truck and be ready to get us out of here.
Yes, Schneider, I stay here.
Schneider, I can see the guard by the entrance.
Yes, I see him. Stay here by the truck and keep me covered until I neutralize him. Right. I've counted all the trees that I can see from the east side.
Okay, I'm going to turn the console off now, and I'll leave you with that cliffhanger. If you want to play the game, buy one of these consoles and buy that game. I want to touch on a couple of other things before I go. As I say, Truman Toys and Games have designed this for anyone to use. If you or someone you know has limited mobility skills due to disability or accident or illness or what have you, this console can be quite easily modified to support external triggers. I don't really know much about this because the manual doesn't really explain it, but there are pads on the internal circuit board that can be easily soldered to break out the A, B, C and D buttons to external triggers. I'm thinking you might be able to rig up capability switches. It would of course mean opening the unit up and soldering some cables to the circuit board and probably drilling some holes in the case. I'm not sure I mentioned this or not earlier, I think I did. I think the case for this thing is actually 3D printed. I'll come on to that shortly. But yeah, you can add external controls to operate the console. So if you need to use capability switches, you could have a knowledgeable person you know or an organisation that specialises in products for people with disabilities modify your console to enable you to use it. I think of organisations like Enabling Devices in New York, USA, for example. On the whole, I give this thing really high marks. I've only had it for about 6 or 7 days now, but I've been playing with it a lot. I've particularly been playing Hotel of Secrets. I give this thing really high marks. I think that the team at Truman Toys and Games have done a wonderful job with this. The product is still very much in its infancy, I believe. There are some issues with a couple of the games which involve saving user data to the console. I am in discussion with Lee about this and trying to determine why I'm having some problems. It's supposedly quite a well-known issue. Truman Toys and Games are quite active on social media. You can find their website at trumantoys.com. That's TRUMAN toys.com. They're also quite active on Facebook. Search for Truman Toys and Games Limited on Facebook and you'll find them. Lee quite regularly posts videos on his Facebook page about this console and its development. 4 games exist for the console at the moment, and I have them all. The games in question are The Psychotronic Mind, Bewilder, Hotel of Secrets, and Ice Cold. 2 more games are in production at time of making this video. Those games being Bank Robbing Bunnies and How Close is the Ghost. You can find information about those on the Truman Toys and Games website. As I say, Lee posts videos to Facebook quite regularly, and oftentimes in the background you can hear what sounds like a 3D printer running, which leads me to believe that he's 3D printing the cases and the cartridges, which is really impressive, given that it's such a small operation. In his latest video I just watched before making this one, he said the business is growing, which is really great. I wish Lee every success with this product. I think it's wonderful. And I think this could really revolutionise accessibility in gaming for everyone of any ability. Once again, you can buy the console at trumantoys.com. The console itself is £39, with each cartridge selling for £22. You can buy the console alone or in bundles with cartridges. If you buy the 4-game value pack, you'll get the pack for £99 UK. It took maybe a week and a half for the console to arrive in Australia from the UK, which is really impressive. Really quick. I was just really amazed. And I would really recommend this for anyone. And I would certainly recommend this for people who are perhaps wheelchair bound and who maybe have limited movement in their body. If you can get one and get it modified with capabilities which is the work best for you, you should be able to have fun playing with this. Thank you for watching, and feel free to leave a comment if you have one. Goodbye, everyone.